Tamil Nadu, where Tamil superstar Vijay launched his political party, the Tamiga Vetri Kadagam, the TMK. The actor, addressing in his first political rally on Sunday, defined his ideology as anti-communalism and anti-corruption. The rally was attended by over 3 lakh people, sparking speculation. Are we seeing the rise of a new actor politician in South India? Take a look.
A superstar entry into politics. Ilayya Thalapathy Vijay has now a new avatar as the president of the Tamira Vetri Karagam, or as it translates, the victory of the Tamil people. As Vijay took to stage to address a massive crowd of nearly 7 lakh people, everyone had just one question. What is Vijay's political ideology? With massive cutouts of Periyar, Kamarajar and more on stage, Vijay struck an important balance and clarified on whether he has the same beliefs as Dravidian parties.
Periyar enga kolgai தலைவர் எப்படி ஏன் பெரியார் சொன்ன கடவுள் மறுப்பு கொள்கையை மட்டும் நாங்க கையில் எடுக்க போறதே இல்ல எங்களுக்கு அதில் உடன்பாடும் இல்ல யாரோட கடவுள் நம்பிக்கைக்கும் நாங்க எதிரானவங்க இல்ல அரசியல் அண்ணன் தம்பி உறவை அறிமுகப்படுத்தின அறிஞர் அண்ணா சொன்ன மாதிரி ஒன்றே குலம் ஒருவனே தேவன்றதுதான் எங்க நிலைப்பாடும்.
While not taking any names, Vijay did make it quite clear he was anti-DMK and anti-BJP. The indication rather seems to be he's taken a bit of both.
திராவிடமும் தமிழ் தேசியமும் இந்த மண்ணோட 2 கண்கள் என்பதுதான் நம்மளுடைய தாழ்மையான கருத்தும். அதனால நாம எந்த ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட அடையாளத்துக்குள்ளேயும் நம்மளை சுருக்கிக்காம தமிழ்நாட்டு உரிமைகளை சார்ந்த இந்த மண்ணுக்கான மதச்சார்பற்ற சமூக நீதி கொள்கைகள், அதாவது செக்யூலர் சோஷியல் ஜஸ்டிஸ் ஐடியாலஜிஸ்
எதிரின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு வார்த்தை மட்டும் தான் பாஜக பத்தி பேசுறாரு.
அதாவது இது வரைக்கும் பல அரசியல் கட்சிகளுடைய ஏ டீம் பி டீம் பார்த்திருக்கிறோம். இது பாரதிய ஜனதாவுடைய சி டீம்.
Thalapathy Vijay is clearly platforming himself as an alternative to both DMK and BJP. Vijay's speech has created quite a flutter, but there's still a lot more clarity needed on exactly what kind of politics the superstar Neta espouses. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's raise the big question. Will Vijay breach the Dravidian fortress? Can stardom guarantee political success? Is there space for a third front in Tamil Nadu? Joining me now are 2 special guests who track that part of the country. T.S. Sudhir joins me. He's been a senior political journalist for years. Sumant C. Raman tracks politics as well in Chennai. I appreciate both of you joining us. Sumant, are we seeing the rise of a actor politician in Tamil Nadu, or will this be another false dawn? We've had a couple of actors in recent times. Rajnikant never took off. Kamal Haasan has struggled. Can Vijay be different?
Rajdeep, my point of view is it's way too early to say. I mean, he's batted the first over and he struck a couple of sixes. Now,
what are the sixes he struck?
Well, first of all, the huge crowds that he gathered yesterday, I mean, that's taken a lot of people by surprise. People did say that he would get a good crowd, but the crowd seemed to have been enormous. The second is the speech. I mean, quite honestly, nobody expected such a fiery speech and that he would go hammer and tongs at both BJP and DMK. So I think that he, like I said, he's hit a couple of sixes in the first over, but there's a long way to go. I mean, this is, whether he's going to get 100 or whether he's going to be dismissed in the third over, we just have to wait and see. And he still remains in many ways an unknown quantity because we don't really know, apart from the fact that he's now made it clear he's open for alliances for the 2026 elections. We still do not know how his day-to-day political activities are going to be, what kind of team that he's going to assemble. Right now, there's hardly anybody with any political background around him. They're mostly members of his fans association. So there are a lot of things that we don't know. What we know is he has the capacity to assemble massive crowds. and he has at least as far as on the face of what we saw yesterday, he does make a good platform speaker.
But there is also the question, T.S. Sudhir, whether he can create that space for a third force in Tamil Nadu politics. Kamal Hassan tried it, didn't work. And there is a belief that the BJP may well look for a Vijay-like figure and then prop him up. That's what the Dravidian parties are already accusing the BJP of, that they are using Vijay's popularity, going to piggyback on him. They tried it with Rajnikant, it never took off. Now they want to do it with Vijay. Any truth to this? Do you believe that this is a third force that is being attempted to, that there is an attempt to create a third force with possible BJP support?
Well, Rajdeep, for one, as Suman Raman said, Vijay is pretty much of an unknown commodity. We know about the kind of movies he made. The people have loved him. But as a political figure, an unknown commodity, of course, untested. Now, as far as this whole charge of him being a C team of the BJP, as one of the ministers was pointing out, well, there have been too many differences between the BJP leaders in Tamil Nadu and Vijay in the past. A war of words over one of his past films also took place. So in that sense, there isn't really much of a meeting ground at the moment between Vijay and the BJP. Is there space for a political entrant like Vijay? Well, at the moment, unless one of the two Dravidian parties gets squeezed out, it looks highly unlikely. The 2026 election, pretty much like the 2024 Lok Sabha election, is likely to be the DMK-led bloc versus the rest. Now, if that happens, what would be the performance of the AIDMK be like? And on that pretty much hinges the future of a political figure like Vijay. We saw that the BJP did not quite succeed, even though they tried to make a splash in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So if the AIDMK does not perform as per expectations in the 2026 assembly elections, I think that's when the political realignment will take place. So Vijay, I suspect, pretty much like Pawan Kalyan in Andhra Pradesh, is not really looking seriously at 2026, but probably beyond 2026.
But do you see him taking on both the BJP and the Dravida parties, or do you believe he will also have to take some side at some stage? Kamal Hassan eventually chose to plant himself in the India Alliance anti-BJP camp.
Yeah, I mean, Kamal Hassan was always part of that kind of bloc. He was always known to be an anti-BJP figure. Vijay has taken on the DMK because there are wheels within wheels as far as the DMK versus Vijay goes. Will he align himself with the BJP? I think a lot will depend on what really happens in the next couple of years. I think it's too early to say. And Vijay also, if he goes along with the BJP, he has seen the kind of reception the BJP gets within Tamil Nadu. So that could actually prove politically suicidal for him at this point in time. And whether the BJP would also want two young figures in an Annamalai or a Vijay. So at this point in time, I think it's too early to say which way Vijay will go. I think the best bet for him, if he wants to really last the course and be another NGR and Jayalalitha-like figure, is to kind of try to make a mark himself. He's a one-man party. We don't know, as Sumant was pointing out, we don't know who else is really in the party. So what he does over the next year, because punch dialogues, I mean, yesterday's speech was replete with many punch dialogues, but punch dialogues alone don't really make a winning politician.
Does he, Sumant, are we agreed that there is space being created for a potential alternative to the DMK, given that the AIDMK's fortunes have not really risen since the death of Jayalalitha? They have struggled. So the space is there. It's a question who occupies it.
Yeah, Radip, I know it's a little premature to start making predictions for 2026, but Vijay has two broad choices. He cannot align with the BJP. That's ruled out because he has identified the BJP as his ideological enemy. So there's no question of going with the BJP, at least not in 26. And obviously he cannot go with the DMK because the DMK, he has taken them on hammer and tongs yesterday. So I think that there are two options for Vijay. Try to tie up with some of the smaller parties and try his luck. Potentially that means the DMK comes back to power. And then what happens to him in the next 5 years is a question mark. The other option, which is a more realistic option, is to tie up with the AIADMK. The AIADMK, mind you, still commands 20-22% of the vote in Tamil Nadu. And with the addition of Vijay, maybe other parties like the PMK and others, they become a formidable force to take on a DMK alliance. And potentially, Vijay has spoken about a share of power. If the AIADMK is willing to concede, and they're weakened, so they may be willing to concede, then that could mean that Vijay could find himself in a similar situation, very similar to Pawan Kalyan in Andhra Pradesh now.
Very interesting. Therefore, a final question to you, T.S. Sudhir. When I look at the history of film star politicians in southern India, there are, of course, exceptions like MGR and NTR who broke every rule. The others have either aligned with a major party, or some of them have proved to be super flops, even though they were great actors on screen. Shivaji Ganeshan is a good example. Where do you see Vijay fall in? He's a popular folk hero. Does that give him some kind of a Rajni-like sort of appeal, which he could cash on in the years ahead?
Well, he has a couple of things going for him. One, he is entering politics at the peak of his film career. Most of his films have been blockbusters, doing very well. Even the films which are not really cinematically very good, they go on to do pretty well. And he's only 50. So in that sense, he has got age on his side. He's not likely to be a man in a hurry, unlike a Rajni, who of course made only a half-hearted attempt to get into politics, or a Kamal Haasan. Vijay has age on his side, and he has this huge appeal among the youth and the women voters. But all this, would it really translate? Because as we know right now, TVK is only known as a Vijay party. Who else is in the party? He still needs 233 other candidates to be fielded in the assembly elections, and that's all going to be a very tall order. So, as Sumant was saying, very early to say, he has made a fiery opening in the power play, but then he still has, it's a test match and a long way to go.
And I found it interesting that Pawan Kalyan is among those who have tweeted support for Vijay. So clearly there could be a model there. If Pawan Kalyan could do it, become Deputy Chief Minister with a limited vote share, correct?
They have acted in remakes of each other's films. In fact, one movie called Kushi, in which Vijay acted in Tamil and Pawan Kalyan in Telugu, were big hits in their own film careers.
Okay, interesting there. Insights into the rise, potentially, of another actor politician. We'll wait and see whether Vijay's political career is as much of a blockbuster as clearly his cinematic career is. Sumant Raman and T.S. Sudhir for sharing your insights. Thanks very much for joining me here on the News Today.